Okay. So, next question. How to let go of people. So, certainly that's a big one. I mean, and I believe why that gets asked a lot, and well, of course I know it's why it gets asked a lot. So we're talking about, people that are certainly in our lives currently active, whether it's a relationship with a partner, friend, coworkers, whatever it could be, and they're disrupting your peace, or they're not promoting or being supportive of what you're trying to do in any way, and how you let go of these people is you just let go. There's You can hem haw around with it and play around with it. If you haven't set strong boundaries, you can certainly start there, and you can, if you feel like it's somebody that might listen to you or go forward. But if you've been doing all that or giving them indications and you're getting no respect or whatever reason, it's not working to move you forward and it keeps you down. And a lot of times you're talking about family members too. That's a real family members, and especially even the parent kid relationship on either end. Um, this is where it's a hard choice. But if you're trying to move forward and you're trying to be better, and even family members, parents or kids are a pull on that, and keeping you down, then you're got to let that go. You don't have to just kill it forever. You Again, the whole thing around loving, you can love people from a distance. So you can set that boundary, let them know that there's no communication, there's nothing happening or whatever until you're more comfortable with it yourself, knowing that you can't change other people. If you also let that click in, that you can't change people. You can keep wishing and wanting and trying to make them be different, so you don't have to let them go. But the only person you can change is yourself, and a lot of times that entails you have to make that decision to let them go. All right. So next question: how to live day by day. So anybody asks me a question like that is always going to be, no matter what their situation is, why they're asking, is the response is becoming more grateful. Grateful is what will bring you always back into the now, and the now is the day, is being in the day and being present. And um, so again, the day by day and getting back in the now, being grateful, again, that's what gets your mind back here, so you stop moving into the future and worrying about things that haven't even happened, and then going in the past and starting to let things affect you again in the present. So being grateful when those things start happening, you start overthinking, you start getting, where you're not able to when you're not staying present and when you're letting those things affect your right now, is be grateful. Take a minute, get your journal out, write some things down. Have that list in your head of those things that you're grateful for, your kids' health, or you're grateful for having another day, whatever it is for you. Go through that list as many times as you need to and expand on it, and that will be the best thing to keep you day to day. Okay, next question: overcoming fears. So fears are usually stuff that you've conjured up in your brain, and it's also, fear is also part of a that keeps you from possibly getting in situations or doing things that your brain is telling you is unsafe, and all of these things. So it puts up these hey, these warnings. But mostly your fears are you've created them yourself. Again, you've let yourself drift into the future with your thoughts, and you're concerned about things that haven't even happened, or you feel like you said something stupid at work and the boss is going to fire you because they called you in their office, and so you just stressed out about it. These are all things you put in your head, and that's not the way to deal with things. It brings up stress, it brings up anxiety. You float back into places and things, from the past that are not a good place to be in, um, when it has to do with fear. Um, So this ties into a lot of staying in the now and that the whole grateful piece. So when you start getting into those things, is again, I'm a big advocate of that the grateful mentality. Having gratitude, because these are a lot of things that will bring you back to now. Because again, those fears are what's happened that's tying into what the future, and you're just letting you're just letting your mind float around, and when you can just bring it back into being in a grateful state and bring it back to now. What happens? So next question, more of a lifestyle question, and how I live my life and things like that. So how you fund your hiking adventures. So bringing money in and making money. I've always, for years now, even before I actually went out and to live this lifestyle 5 years ago, I was already active online making money. I was already, you know, one of my biggest things for several years was I flipped. I had eBay stores. I love the process of it was part of the exploring adventure I think I had in me before I went out was going to thrift shops, going to garage sales, doing all of these different things to to acquire things. Anything that I tell you guys, if go back on my platforms if you want to. You will see videos where I took on when I was rebuilding my truck after I sold my trailer. I took a job out on I took a job with a lady whose brother had gotten sick, and he had a saddle shop for years. All your cowboy stuff and all your ranch and stuff like that. It was more of a customized place, and he had this amazing building with all this stuff in it, and she was a follower. So these are opportunities that come if you will become active on social media. But these are the positive things. So she reached out to me and said, I don't know if you have an interest, but I've got a place you can work on your truck if you want, but I need help. I know I see that you sell online, you talk about it a lot, and I was at one time teaching a little bit of that to you guys online. But so I got invited out there, and so she needed help liquidating this stuff. So that's what we did for 6 to 8 months. Is I took pictures of stuff every day, and I wasn't out thrifting and doing those things. It was just right in front of me, and I was able to. These are ways that you can make money, and as much money as you want, depending on what you put into it. Um, so everything offline, anything online, and then get it. I've gotten into now. I don't. That's not much of an interest to me. What's interesting to me is growing. As you guys know, this is all going to tie in. So it'll probably be part of all my answers with anything. This is my world is about spreading this message now. The my platform, Ucan Outdoors, and the Self Care Savage mentality. Protecting your peace and knowing your worth, and these are this is what I'm trying to do is push this message out. So in order for me to do that, I have to make the time to do that. One of the greatest ways to do that is affiliate type marketing. And affiliate marketing is scary to a lot of people. They don't. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to connect what's happening and what you're trying to do. But what I teach in my message around this, and where I would point you to as we talk about this more, is there's a couple of people where I learned from, and again, it's putting the work into it and understanding it, whatever in your life. Everything folds into what I do. So what I do now is my search is passive income. How do I make passive income? So we're going to just table that for a second, and I want you to understand the other piece too. You guys know, and I talk about that I will never put anything in front of my community, and I'm very protective of this community, and I am not interested in have built this audience, which was an un which was not which was not expected that this was going to happen. So I don't put things. I just you don't see my. There's no clutter with my feed, and this is the other point I want to make. You don't have to have a large audience to do these things, and also you don't have to abuse your position with your social media. And I'm not interested in doing that with my platform, but I do work with a couple. But I put, there's something, there again, what y'all. So there's only a couple things. Again, anybody can go to my link tree. You can go and look at what is in there, and that would be the only thing that you would see that I promote. And there's reasons for that to this platform because it benefits you guys. Part of my platform is the public lands and the because that's a big part of what I spend 90% of my time on is moving around public lands is where I go do my hikes and where I spend a lot of remote time, all that stuff that I've done to build my self-care savage mentality. It's been the big strength. So I support those environments like with a hat. See, I'm showing you stuff again, but like with a hat. And the hat I always wear, that's always in there. Y'all know I promote this because they give back to public lands. I don't make any money from it. But anyway, or you'll see something around, that I promote a book summary company because it's very valuable. You guys need to jumpstart your self care. There's so many books out there, and a lot of times, people aren't into the fluff. You may have a dyslexic issue like me, and there's just ways you want to learn differently and quicker. And it is I bring it to you because it's an amazing platform that would help you guys jumpstart your self care. Everything is tied into it, and you might see those every couple of weeks. That helps support the platform, but it's a benefit to you, and you want to use it or not. That it doesn't, it's not relying on anything. But I vetted them, and they're like the best. They provide the best options, so that's why I bring them to you. These are things you learn how to do as you go through the process. There's a couple of other little things that I do around this platform, but a lot of things are done outside of the platform. They're just things that I do. So again, people are scared of of trying new things and feeling like you know there's so many things to get over with social media. I Social media is where the attention is. It's not going away. It's just going to keep growing. All of your bigger, old, established, giant corporations that are still advertising on television and sitcoms and all these kind of things, they're probably still going to do that, but that's eventually going to, you can see it's getting to be different. And they're pumping a lot of money into influencers. They're pumping a lot of money into social media because that's where everybody's at. Um, and so if you want to be independent and you want to be able to create some passive income and have a lifestyle, I am all over that. And I will help you guys as much as you would like with information around that because that is part of how I'm able to do what I'm able to do.